didn't look at her as being weak because she didn't respond. I looked at her like she decided that she wasn't gonna go back and forth with that peasant. Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's good to see y'all again. So as you can see, this vlog is over masculine energy, women with masculine energy. And try to ignore my background. I just did a try on haul for y'all and I'm trying to block it with my body, but look, we gotta do what we gotta do so we can get this content out. But I got some wine. So this wine is sweet strawberry. It's a strawberry wine. That's what caught my eye because I don't think I ever had a strawberry wine. I actually got this from Aldi. So this is my first time trying this, and we shall see. I'm excited to try it. And it was really inexpensive. Yeah, a big old glass. And do y'all like my lipstick combo? My lip gloss combo? So cute, like plum. So it's from my lip gloss line. My brand that I make my own lip glosses. And I'm going to tell y'all more about my brand in another video, another vlog. But it is from my lip gloss brand. And I have a bunch of other products that I sell. So I'm going to let y'all check those out in another vlog. Okay, so let's get into this wine. It's definitely sweet. It's sweet, but then it's like it has something else. It's something that I can't put my finger on. It's not bad, but it might be a little bit too sweet for me. I don't know if it's missing something or if it had, I don't know. But this is it. If y'all want to try this strawberry wine, it's at Aldi. So, okay, so we're going to get right into it. So, one thing I notice about myself is that I have a lot of masculine energy that I had because I like to speak things as though they speak things that are not as though they are. So I don't have all this masculine energy anymore, but I had been practicing in a lot of masculine energy that I wasn't even aware of. It was unconscious. Like I would do things unconsciously. And most women who have a lot of masculine energy, it comes from trauma. It stems from trauma that they've had since childhood. So if you were put in a role to take on a lot of responsibilities at an early age, or if you never had no one to really take care of you, then a lot of times you will become masculine, or you will have a lot of what they call masculine energy. So masculine energy and masculine gestures and things like that are things that you do that would be typically known for male counterparts, not for women. These would be traditionally male activities, male gestures, male for men. But recently, a lot of women have taken on these gestures, roles, all of it. And again, it's because some kind of trauma, some experience, or maybe they were just raised around a lot of men. So at any point in my life, I would be doing any one of these things on my list. So I'm going to give you 15 things that will tell you whether or not you have masculine energy. And again, I am guilty of just about every last one of these things on my list. And so I'm working on that. So here we go. I am not a psychiatrist, let me just say that, but I do have a lot of rural experience like most of us. And so some of these things could be easily pointed out. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see these things. So the first thing on my list is if you back your car in. If you back your car in instead of parking, if you do this all the time or most times, that is considered masculine. Believe it or not. If your go-to when you park is to bag your car in, that is like really, that's not really ladylike. If you think about it, like more ladylike, dainty women, they don't back their cars in. So if your go-to is to back your car up most of the time and park it bagged in, you got some masculine energy, okay? Next on my list is if you say, I don't need a man for nothing. That's masculine. That means that you're becoming the man. Like you are the man. You are the man. You are the woman. And trust me, I am guilty of saying that so much. But I don't say that no more. I do not say that I don't need a man. No, I can live without a man. Yes, I can. I don't have to have a man to survive. But I do recognize the importance of having a good man. Okay, a good man. Let's just say that. So if you're one of those women that like to say, I don't need a man for nothing, because most women who say that, who I've witnessed, are black women. And it's because of trauma. We've experienced so much trauma within our black men. So we've learned how to do it on our own. And we've adapted to that. And so it comes to this point where we are right now where we're like, okay, we don't need a man because we've done it all without a man. But we would like to have a good man. We want a good man. It's just that because of what we've experienced, whether it be childhood, whether it be our father, our brother, our husband, our boyfriend, somebody, baby daddy, anything, we've experienced bad situations to where we feel like we don't need a man. But you don't want to always say that because you have what you say. So I've refrained from saying that I don't need a man. I don't say that no more. Another one is if you like to fight. If you like to fight, pop off, cuss people out, and stuff like that, that's giving masculine energy. Like really, really feminine women who are really in their feminine era, or women who are naturally feminine. We all should be naturally feminine. But women who stay there in their femininity, they're not always telling people off, popping off, getting people together and ready to fight and things like that. They're not doing that. Like, they will let somebody say whatever they want to say and they will move on. They won't say anything sometimes. They'll let somebody talk crazy to them and they'll keep on going like, okay, girl, all right. And they'll move on. And and I've seen this in action before with a woman who's really, really feminine. And what I learned from it, what I took away from it rather, I didn't look at her as being weak because she didn't respond. I looked at her like she decided that she wasn't gonna go back and forth with that peasant. That's what it was given. Like, this peasant is not even worth me to go back and forth with. I'm not going to argue with her. She wants to fight. I'm not going to fight. I'm too pretty to fight. I'm beautiful. I'm not going to mess up my face. I'm not going to break my nail to fight with her. That's what that was given, what I got out of that. That's what I took away from that. So I'm not about to be out here fighting anybody. I'm not about to be telling people off and all that kind of stuff like that. Like, if you want to argue, you argue by yourself. If you have an issue, then that's your issue. I'm not going to argue with peasants. So that's what I take away from a woman who's really feminine and doesn't step out of that. Another one is, if you are extremely independent and you have your own everything and you buy your own everything yourself, that is looked at as being masculine. And I am definitely guilty of that, because I'm not going to wait for a man that, and even me just saying that was kind of masculine. But, like, what am I going to do? But some men, weaker men, will be very intimidated by a woman who buys her own everything, who takes care of everything for herself, pays her own bills, doesn't look and wait for somebody to do things for her. Like, a man who's really weak-minded will look at that as being like masculine. That's just what it is. Next on my list, okay, if you are like a player, like you like to date multiple men at the same time, and you have this one, that one, this one, that's considered masculine. That was at one time a male-dominated sport. But more women are just tired of the bull, and these women they have multiple men, multiple boyfriends, a husband and a boyfriend and a husband. So that is masculine, considered masculine. Next is, if you like to wear tennis shoes all the time, you love to wear tennis shoes, Jordans, this and that all the time. Like, you don't ever wear sandals. You don't ever wear heels. You never wear heels. You always wear tennis shoes. 90% of the time, 80% of the time, you're in tennis shoes. Then that is considered masculine, like tomboy masculine. And that also includes like gym clothes, sports wear, jerseys, things like that. That also includes those items: tennis shoes, jerseys, sportswear, stuff, things like that, like loose baggy clothing. That all is in the same category with masculinity. Next is, if you're never vulnerable, like you never cry, you never show any like tears or anything like that. Because what I've learned is that men, for some reason, when women cry, it like triggers something in a lot of men to where they need to come to the rescue. Like the damsel in distress. Like, they spring into action. When a woman cries, it's like it just clicks something on, and they have to fix it. They have to find a way to fix that issue. So if you never give them something to fix, it's like you're kind of masculine. Next is, if you have a male dominant job, which is like if you're in the role of like the management, if you're like CEO, if you're in what would typically be known as a male dominated role in your job, you could possibly be looked at as masculine. And other men who are in higher positions as well, they can get jealous of you being in that role sometimes, because in the past women could not hold those positions, those roles. So in some ways that still exists, where a woman who's in a powerful position, that she is masculine, like running for president. So that is a job, is a role that would typically be, a male's job, a man's job. So that would be looked at as masculine if a woman wanted to hold that position, which is why a lot of people were upset when, a woman wanted to run for president. Next is if you never ask for help. Or no, if people rarely ask you if you need help. Let me say that. If people rarely ask you if you need help, and it's always like people expect you to have it under control, that means they look at you as like, oh, yeah, she got it. She got it under control. Like, that's masculine. Because a woman who's really feminine, they always need help. They always need help with something. Even if they don't need help, they act like they need help. So a woman who's really feminine, a man, anybody who is always going to ask them, oh, do you need help? Let me help you. Let me get it for you. Let me get the. But if you're masculine, or if you have a lot of masculine energy, you're used to doing things on your own. You have that independence. So people won't even ask you if you need help. And I've experienced this my whole life. People just think I have everything together. They never ask me if I need help. I could be nearly about to faint and nobody will ask me if I need help. Never. And it's because of what they've seen me do in the past. They've seen me do 100 things at once. They've seen me do the role of a man and a woman. So they figure like, oh yeah, she got it. I could be about to die and nobody will ask me if I need help. Nobody. So it's because of that masculine energy. Next is if you like to compete with men. Like, you like to compete with men. You like to play sports. You want to... Oh, that's a line here. You like to play sports. You like to compete with men in any capacity. Then, of course, that is considered masculine to men, especially. Like, you feel that men and women should have equal rights. You feel that you can do anything that a man can do. Those things are considered masculine. Women who are really feminine, they don't care what men are doing. They don't want to compete with men. They want to be feminine and do all girly things and let the men play sports, let them compete, let them do all this stuff, and they just want to do a bunch of girly stuff. So that's the difference. Women who want to compete with men in any capacity is considered masculine. Next one is if you always need to be in control. If you always need to be in control no matter what, you take the lead on every situation. You always have to be in control of all things, of everyone, everything going on. That's considered masculine. It really is. That's considered masculine. If you just can't let a man allow him to lead. If you can't allow the man to lead and you always got to take control, that would be considered masculine. So a good example, Clarissa Shields, Remy Ma, Papoose. Those are two really considered masculine women. Remy Ma talks like a straight up dude. Clarissa Shields out here beating people up left and right. So that's why people really pointed out, like, man, Papoose, you really got a type. Both of those women are considered to be really masculine. Like, talk really hard. So that's another one. If you talk really hard, your tone is like, yo, man, what's up, man? Like, you got a real strong masculine way of communicating. That's one of the things. So yeah. Another one is, if you are into male activities, like you like to drink beer out of a bottle, out of anything. You like to drink beer. You like to watch sports. You got to watch the football game. You got to watch basketball game. What else? You're into like chopping down trees and things like that. That would be considered really masculine. So another one is, if you don't prioritize beauty, fitness, things like that are considered to be really feminine. So men can really appreciate a woman who takes care of herself, her beauty, who prioritizes her beauty, who gets her hair done, nails done, toes done. Men really like things like that, most men. And so if you're a woman that doesn't really care about getting her hair, nails, doing makeup, things like that, then that could actually be considered more masculine. And myself, I've actually started to prioritize those things more, just pour into myself more and prioritize my beauty more, because even though my career is beauty, my whole career is about beauty, there are times where I could be lazy, or I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do my hair, I'll wear a scarf. Or I've been more intentional about like prioritizing my beauty, prioritizing the way I look, making sure my hair, making sure my nails and everything is done. So last but definitely not least, one thing that I noticed is that Black women have been portrayed as masculine a lot of times. I see it all the time. Women like Serena Williams, even Clarissa Shields, all the if they're into sports, things like that, Black women have really been prioritized as masculine. And I think it started with us, because we had to be more masculine. And I can get deep into it. I can go back to history. I can go back to where the men were taken out of the home. I can go back to where we were split and women had to take on all these responsibilities. But I can start even now. So I can start from where we are. A lot of times we tell each other, girl, you strong. You strong. You can do it. You strong. You can do it. You strong. Why is that word always associated with Black women? Like, I don't hear people using that word for Hispanic, Latino women, white women, Asian women. They're not always expected to be strong. Why is the word strong associated with Black women so much? Even amongst ourselves, oh girl, you strong. Like, that's a masculine word, the word strong. That word shouldn't even go with a woman, the word strong. But we have adopted that word, Black women have, and like it's a badge of honor. So I don't let people call me strong no more. I do not let people call me strong, because at one point in my life, I used to even pray for more strength. And I feel like God gave me so much strength to where it's like the only way you get strength is by you have to keep lifting. You have to keep lifting. Right? That's how you build muscle. So the only way I was going to get more strength is if I kept going through more things, more obstacles, lifting more heavy weight in my life. You know, not literally, but you know. So I stopped asking for strength. I got enough strength. I don't need no more strength. I'm good on strength. I don't even let people say, oh girl, you strong. I say, no, I'm not. I ain't that strong. I ain't that damn strong. No, I'm not. No, because I don't want to be associated with strength. That's a man, masculine word, strength. I don't want to have all that strength. Like, I don't need all that strength. No. Mm-mm. Thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that.